You don't exist. You are nothing but a thought. Let me tell you why. A thought, you can't see it, you can't touch it, and you most definitely can't smell it. It is something that does not have a form. In other words, a thought is an abstract manifestation of a notion or feeling that is formed in your head, and it is essentially invisible. But is it really? What if thoughts can be seen? What if I told you you could even touch a thought? And that it is the dark matter that binds the reality we live in. What are your thoughts on this? Take a moment to audit yourself. All those many thoughts that are now erupting within the depths of your head through a burst of electrical activity produced by your being. What is it telling you right now about the absurd possibility of you being able to touch a thought? Whatever your answer is, one thing is for certain. I have surely planted a thought in your head now. If thoughts are abstract, then how can it be planted in someone's head? It almost makes thoughts feel like a physical thing that can be planted within the topsoil of your head. But you still can't touch it, can you? So that was Lucy's problem. She had this thought that was an itch in her head, and the more she thought about that thought, the more it began to grow and formed other thoughts. These thoughts, over the course of a few hours, had multiplied into thousands of sub-thoughts or thought branches in Lucy's subconscious mind that now her conscious mind was flooding with. She was beginning to be consumed by them. What started off as a simple thought of, I am not good enough, that simply flashed through her mind in a fraction of a second, that she had unknowingly internalized, is now, in a matter of hours, consuming her head like a mind virus. It's because of where you come from, it's because of your race, your color, your gender, and so on, these thoughts go in her head. These thoughts might seem different to you, but they can be routed back to one thought, where it all began, the alpha and the omega thought of, I am not good enough. When these sort of thoughts enter your mind, they are hard to get rid of, especially if it originated because of your childhood as a consequence of parents, the very people who we look for comfort when we are so young. So Lucy began self-mutilation as she found comfort in pain and scarring her body. On the other hand, John, who had the same thoughts as Lucy, rebelled against those thoughts. He set out to prove those thoughts wrong, and that fury motivated him to put in the work at school, then his job, and bought himself a nice car, a house, and began the journey to raising a family now. Most would say he did well for himself. In Lucy and John's case, a simple abstract thought manifested in time into physical forms. In effect, thoughts became things. In Lucy's case, those thoughts manifested in the physical form of scars and scabs that covered her body. And in John's case, his thoughts manifested into his cars in the garage and his house and his lovely wife. Thoughts haunt us more than ghosts, and every time Lucy looks at the scars, her mind recalls the thought, and she mutilates again. Every time John looks at his car, he is reminded of why he bought it, to prove those thoughts wrong, and that he is worth it. This recalls the original thought, the negative one, and he sets out to buy more stuff to prove those thoughts wrong again. A never-ending vicious cycle. But when you look at communities as a whole, the number of Johns are very few compared to the number of Lucys in the world. And this video is for the Lucys of the world. The Lucys who feel underrated and underappreciated. So start with yourself. Love yourself. For even in the scriptures of any religion, it calls out to love thyself. And then the world will love you. If the downward spiral began with a single thought marinating in time, then it could be argued that thoughts are the black matter of our existence, the puppet masters behind the scenes. With this understanding, let me incept another thought in you. You are worth it. It's okay to love yourself, and that should be your primary prerogative. Let this thought now marinate in time. Let this thought be the dark matter of your existence, and let's discover what they manifest for all of us in the future. There are belief systems out there that say loving yourself is a selfish thought and you should put others before you. And they might be right, but what they never tell us is how to implement that in real life, and we end up being taken advantage of. So let me try to break that logic. In a plane, they instruct you to strap your oxygen mask on, but they also say you have to strap yours on first before you help your neighbor. This is because you could faint due to a lack of oxygen and kill yourself and not save your fellow passenger's life in the process, thus killing two people. But if you wear the mask first, you can now save not just one life, but more. So I hope I put this in context for you. It is okay to love thyself. Think of the plane and the oxygen mask. Coming back to Lucy, if a simple negative thought is internalized and it can create such carnage in the choices we make, our personality, and impact our life so detrimentally, then wouldn't a positive thought create the same impact? With more positive outcomes, however. And isn't that what we should be coached on? Let me know your thoughts on the same, and do feel free to share your experiences in the comment section below. Good conversations are rare, and I look forward to reading them. If you have not subscribed to our channel yet, then please hit the subscribe button and do not forget to hit the notification sign too. This way you can catch our content as and when we release it and stay updated. Welcome to the Uncommon Side community. If you like this video, please hit the like button, as every like puts a smile on our face, and share the video to like-minded people like us. Thank you for watching.